Everything. Okay. Everything should be in order now. I hate Twitch. They asked me for my phone number. I gave them my phone number. And now they error out. And they're like, error updating phone number. Very epic. Contacted Twitch support. They gave me a clanker. It's beautiful. Anyways. Hello, YouTube people. Today we're gonna make a little 2D render in OpenGL. And now you might be like, 2D render in OpenGL? Wait, why? Didn't you do that already? And the answer is yes, but I do it for every project. So I want to make a portable library that is independent of graphics APIs. And it's like a simple, it supports rectangles, supports freaking goddamn textures using Sprite Atlas and whatnot, and fonts. That's all I want. That's all I ask for. I want it to be portable, so we're gonna start with an OpenGL 3 backend today because it's the simplest one. We could get shit done quick, so we can at least see something on the screen, right? But I will write a Vulkan backend for the fun. There's no like real benefit to using Vulkan in this case because it's just a simple 2D batch render. But I just want to check Vulkan out for the funsies. Let's like so. So I've got Chibi right here. Just a bunch of C header libraries. I put whatever I want here and it just works, as you can see, right? It's like my library. So yeah, I've got Chibi OS, which is like got it do beginning the GL context and VK service. So what I want to do today is I want to make something like Chibi GFX.h. Now, since we're making a library, first of all, let me go to chibi.c and make a gfx.c. Go to my make file. This thing is a mess, by the way. I should probably like do a better job at this, but who cares? X11, G, Vulkan, sure. Vulkan because I tried Vulkan surfaces and it worked, so gonna get rid of this. However, I will need this. I will need an OpenGL context today. And that looks good. Where's my C? Yeah, okay, yeah. I was scared for a sec. I was like, where's my C compiler? Everything looking good. Let's make our graphics library. So first of all, let's just get a window set up. So let's go here, copy this, paste it. I would want something like this. And it's gonna be like Chibi GFX GL or something. Yeah, Chibi GFX GL is gonna be the OpenGL backend. Having a backend is gonna be optional, by the way. It's just I include OpenGL support just cause why not? But this thing should be portable with like literally every graphics API out there. As long as it provides you with. Now, got a problem, which is we need a couple of libraries. First of all, we need STP image, sorta. We could technically write our own, we could load bitmaps or QOI from disk and integrate that into GPGFX. Okay, so we could technically replace STP image, but I do think it will be convenient to just be able to decode a PNG file easily using STBI. Yeah. Also, we will still need STB true type because I do want vector fonts. I do want TTF fonts. And I want, the whole sprite atlas thing. So STB rect pack. So this thing does have dependencies, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of a single header library, sadly. But also these are my libraries and I don't care. Lamau, get wrecked, idiot. So yeah. You know what's really funny? This is a big mistake. I should have checked if I'm like actually live on YouTube and this whole thing is working or I'm just wasting my time. Are we live? Yes, we are live. That is so cool. Anyways, technology is truly amazing. So let's just do make GFX. Yep, look at that. Let's just like configure. Okay, let's just like come up with our really cool and awesome API. We're gonna have CB GFX equals to CB GFX create or something. What I wish to have is I want GFX begin, GFX end, and then like push rect or something. We're gonna like push rectangle. Gonna have a bunch of vector 2s, so like a vector 2 and a like the size or something. Gonna have the size. We're gonna have some kind of color like that, something like that, and probably like could be rotation or something. And then at the end here, I'm gonna do something like CB GFX equals to uh bruh. And then in here, the CBGFX is gonna be like our instead of GFX, which is a very thing, I'm gonna do GFX data, GD, so it's like GFX data, graphics data. And data is gonna have a bunch of vertices, vertex. I don't know how many, some number. Gonna have a bunch of indices. So CBU32. I'm gonna have a. It's gonna have all the data we need basically, and vertex is gonna have position, texture coordinate, and color, and also the texture ID because we're batch rendering. That's all the data we need, and also we need a quad count. A quad count. Yeah, you need a quad count. That is basically it. That's what I want. That's how I want it to function. And then I can do whatever the hell I want. Like for example, GL buffer sub data or something like that. We could upload the buffer or SG update buffer for sokol-gfx. We could give it. I forgot how to use it. It could be something like this, maybe GL array buffer and then like GB and then the size and the offset which is 0 and then the size. Something like that because I forgot how to use the OpenGL buffer subdata. It could be GD quad count multiplied by size of vertex multiplied by 4 because each quad has 4 vertices. And instead of vertex here, it's going to be the GFX vertex. Genius. Look at that. And then you can just draw the whole thing. We can finally draw. Hell yeah. And then like, I don't know. Look at that. Because each quad has 6 indices, so just, yeah. So let's get started. First of all, we need some kind of, let's get a OpenGL triangle and then go from there, and then eventually move everything into GFX. Okay. So here, OS, no, OS or something? Yeah, just GLCTX. This should be GLCTX. The GL context. Bruh. Bruh. Man, I love it when my omni completion doesn't work. Brother, is it OS? Yes. I'm so dumb. I should probably check chat. Oh my god. Nice. Thank you. God damn, I hate the default emoji thing. We could just do fire, you know? There you go. What does this function require? It requires our window. It requires our 3 measure or something. Help. OpenGL. Okay, go back. OpenGL. Core profile bit. And then here we could do swap buffers. And here we could do make current. So like we select this context right here. And let's not forget to do a little bit cleanup because we are good programmers and we like to clean up behind us. Yep. So forgot to give it the pointer. Unknown type, true. Call to undeclared function. Got a window. Sorry about that. We're gonna include our beloved gl.h. Although I'm not sure where to include it. Probably here. Oof. Sneeze. Actually, let's do a bit of a X macro. X macro, okay. We're gonna have the function name. Should I just use glad for now? Maybe I should just use glad for now and just not worry about all this. Or we could just use glue. Nah, let's use glad. You don't know what glad is? It's like some open source. Yeah. It's an OpenGL loader generator. For both GL, GLES, EGL, GLXW, GL, like it's got it covered. I'm gonna use the classic 3.3. And we're gonna generate. Although, you know what? Let me look at glad 2 for the funsies. Because I think they have like a, yeah, header only. That's based. Love that. Core common. Yep. Looking good. They got Vulkan. Bruh. We use Vulk when you got this. Let's go to include. Glad. gl.h. It's quite literally just gl.h. We can literally just copy this whole thing. And like paste it here. Vendor. And then gl.h. Put everything here. And then import it. So include vendor/gl.h and define the whole, you know, this. Does it compile? No. Expected whatever that is. Expanded from macro. What do you mean? I regret everything. Can I like go back to my file? No. Yeah. Thank you. No, not this file. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe we should have done this. Yeah. Weird. We got our beautiful glad. Let's look at how it works. Glad load GL. Thank you. Let's look at the load func. Takes in a name. CBOS get proc address. Okay, yeah, it's not the same. We're gonna just use glad load GL. Let's assert this. Actually, no, it just should be assert this. Too few arguments. Oh god. Load G. Yeah, I need a load func, whether I like it or not. The problem is that if you take a look at shibos.h and go to get proc address, wait. Yeah, you do need it for the Windows one, sadly. So, man, I love Windows. Such a piece of shit operating system. Linux is also a piece of shit operating system, but what can you do? You could just do this, to be honest. And then here, we can have a static void glad load func. Then it's going to have the constant for name. And it's just going to, you know, CBOS JSC6 get proc address. We're going to give it the global GL context and the name. That should work in theory. And here we can just cast the whole thing. Now, to check if whether this was successful or not, we're going to do a quick little printf of this string. GL_get_string, GL version. Yep, look at that, dude. We have never been more back. Let's set the GL clear color. Let's just do this. Set it to a nice little gray. I could have just done this. Hold on. This is confusing. Of course it's confusing. That's why. Because usually I do 25 and decided to do 30 now, so it's like, yeah. Yeah, okay. Now, all that's left to do is to GL clear the color buffer. I mean, the frame buffer. Or the attachment, I don't know. Now we can actually start rendering stuff. So in order to render a bunch of stuff, first of all, we're gonna need a shader. We're gonna need a bunch of vertices and indices to upload to our beautiful thing. So what do we do? We're gonna have our vertex shader and fragment shader. I'm thinking of just stealing everything from learnopengl.com just as a speedrun. Yeah. Just to trust me, bro. This is for educational purposes, trust me. Hello, triangle. Trust me, I'm not gonna do anything bad. Trust. Yeah. What I wish they did in this little example, let's just paste that here. And make them constant. And use my beautiful types for everything. Well, not this one, but still. Vertices. And what else do we need? I think it's a bummer that they're not using a struct vertex because it's a lot, more convenient. So we could do CB vertex or GFX vertex, but we're gonna do that later, or just do it now. We're gonna have the position for now. We're just gonna have the position for now. And then here, when we set up our actual, VB, the vertex buffer objects, the index buffer object, and the vertex array object, let's just generate vertex arrays. Vertex arrays are kind of annoying, but what can you do? How else are you gonna set your, vertex layout? Now we actually do gen buffers. Here we go. Bind the damn buffer to our array buffer, vertex buffer. It's gonna be size of vertices because they're known at compile time. With vertices, GL dynamic draw, because we are gonna set the vertices every frame. But because the whole render is just a bunch of quads, we can just pre-calculate the index buffer, but that's not for now. Also, this is buffer data, not bad. Copy, no, stop. Copy all this, paste it. Array is gonna be elements array, and vertices is gonna be indices, and v gonna be e. It's funny. Vertex attribute pointer. And then I completely forgot how to use this function. Hold on. 0 the position. The size. Damn, I need some documentation for this. I hate OpenGL functions. I always praised OpenGL, but now, as I am now old and depressed, I realize it sucks. Index, the size. Size is gonna be 2, because, yeah. If it's gonna be 2, then let me just get rid of this, this. Yeah. And the type, which is going to be GL floats, normalized GL false. Oh my god, the muscle memory. Size of sokol-gfx vertex, and then the actual pointer, the offset. We could just say offset of vertex, and then give it the actual member, which is pause, and just cast this whole thing to a void pointer. That's the benefit of having a vertex struct. You can just do this instead of manually, And let's actually enable this. Enable vertex attribute array 0. And here we literally just do a GeoDraw elements, triangles, 0 and 6. 6, 7. We need a small little utility to compile our shaders, Very convenient. So let's just do a static void geo init shader. Going to return a CB, going to return the shader ID. You're going to take in the VSSRC. If I remember correctly, I think I have a utility and I can just copy paste that. Maybe that'll work. Let's see. Where's shader, man? Where's shader? GFX. Okay, yeah, I put it just in the GFX inlet because I'm lazy. Yep, we can copy all of this, paste it here. Now, do we got anything in chat? No. Amazing. Just as God intended. This is kind of bad because we're kind of relying on, Oh God, no. I meant RD dot is going to be that like that, and that's it. And here we return our shader. I'm not even going to use it. Fprintf exit 1. Yeah, looking good. This is even compile? No. UB32 unknown. What the hell do you mean it's unknown? We literally don't I have it? Do I have to include shitty lineage for this one? Yes. Too few arguments. Expected 4, have 3. Can you at least tell me those arguments? You're so mean. I hate you. What we need is the type, which is wait, what? Mode count, which is 6. Type, which is geo unsigned integer. And our indices, which is null because we have a buffer for that. And base vertex, which is going to be 0. Going to start at 0. Too many arguments? Nah, bruh. The hell you mean? Mode, count, type, indices, base vertex. Am I going crazy, chat? Am I going crazy? I might be going crazy. The mode, the counts, the type, the indices. God damn it. I hate Glad. How dare you, Glad? You lied to me. Unused function, yes, that is correct. Absolutely and utterly correct. Now let's actually make the shaders. So static const character, the shader, which is going to be, whatever this is. We're going to have the in position, our beautiful void main function instead of int main, because GPUs are based. Get the little in position 0, 1. That's literally all we need for now. Also, don't forget the semicolon. Source out vector for out color. And here, nothing. Out color equals to red because I felt like it. I feel like red is cool. And here we can make our beautiful shaders. So equal to reveal create shader. I had it as init, but it's actually create. VSSRC, XSRC, GL use program. We should run this segmentation fault, my favorite. Now, why did we seg fault? Very good question. Let's we do have debug symbols, so let's just do that. Oh crap, I compiled it into the chibi binary, who cares? Oh no. OS. So it works fine. No. It does not. Sorry about that. Enable vertex attribute. So why is it not happy? Why are we sad, Panda? Let's just do null here. Also in here, vertex. No, actually. It's gonna be a norm. $sign. No, even worse. Norm. $sign. I. Like that. It's beautiful. GFX vertex. Why are we seg faulting? I will rage quit. I will commit Sudoku. Why is it dynamic draw? Static draw. Could that have? Maybe? No. Man, it should be simple. Am I getting rusty? Back in my day, I used to write big ass OpenGL programs, and I was doing fine. And now I can't write programs for shit. Taking a vector to in position. So technically this is correct. VL position, vector full, yep. And in here we have 0 to GL float. Yeah, the size is 2 technically. As you can see, yeah, float position. So size of, we could make the size of, but it won't help. Yeah. So crash is here, right? Yes. But why though? What part of the OpenGL setup am I missing here? This works. Bruh. This is like the biggest bruh moment. Something wrong here, I guess. If I draw all this with no shader whatsoever, what's gonna happen? Also segmentation fault. So something here bad happened, which is VBO. We bind our vertex array. We generate a buffer, we bind our buffer, and we fill it with data, which is this data. Array of vertices. GL static. Let's just say static buffer now. And then we have our element array buffer, EBO, or IBO actually. And we fill it with indices. Now, the question is, maybe I have been wrong this whole time, and GL buffer data, let's look at GL buffer data, takes in a size, and then the data. Okay, so we are correct. Damn it. I was happy for a second. I was like, maybe I mixed up this and, you know, these two, this and this, but no. What did I do in the original that made this work? We go all the way here, we generate our vertex buffer, we have this, Length vertices, we fill it with zeros. And then mid buffer. Offset of, size of. This is the exact same. This is the exact same, except which is 1, unsigned ends, null. This is the exact damn code. What is wrong? What have I done to deserve this? I have a suspicion that this might be a bruh moment and this might be my own library, but I'm not sure. Because what happened one day, using an older version of this library, is that I couldn't draw a triangle, but when trying the same exact example with G of W, it drew that triangle just fine. But I did test that triangle with this version of the library and it did work. So I am questioning everything right now. How do you see how many views? Or do I go to like the YouTube Studio one? Yes. It is very odd indeed. If we take a look at the shader, layout location, thank God, because I thought for a second it's binding instead of location because of sokol. Vector to A position, we use A position here just fine. Our out color is also here just fine. What are we missing here? This line is what cracks with the whole thing. And also this. If I do this, it doesn't, okay, yeah, it's the draw call. My debugger is probably fucked, who knows. Something wrong somewhere. Disable this and enable the draw call. Works. The shaders are probably fine. Disable this and it's sec false. The shaders are fine. These are not fine. Generate the buffers, bind the buffer, fill the buffer, generate buffer. I'm going crazy. I am going crazy right now. Do I have to rebind the VBO here? I would go absolute ape shit if this was the problem all along. Hold on. I would go absolute ape shit. No. No. Okay. Unsigned ends. And here, it's unsigned ends. Unsigned ends. Size of indices, size of vertices. We should be good. That's what I'm trying to get at here. God. I love debugging. Bind vertex array. We bound the vertex array. Technically, we did bind the vertex array. Is there a way I could? Is there an equivalent of Vulkan validation layers, but in OpenGL? I might have to set up some kind of debug context for that. Okay, actually, I have a funny idea. I have a funny, guys. Hold on. I have a real funny. What we could do is get rid of all this and check UCLW. I have a funny idea. No, I'm gonna keep this as is. I'm gonna copy it, go to a new directory, and call it like what do I call it? What do I call it? Render for now. Main.c. Paste this here. Remove this and include glifw. And get rid of this. Get rid of this. Replace anything CBU32 with UN32. Replace GFX vertex with just normal vertex. I think a better solution to all this mess is to just use the working render I had for the other day. and abstract that into a library. That would be a much wiser thing to do, but I don't know. Yeah, let's just do this and go to what was it again? Should be headers. Actually, no, not headers. Source gfx.c. No, vendor gl.h. Copy into here. Got a lot of errors, which is cool and epic. We all love it when we get errors. Instead of doing all this, w init, w window, w, we're going to create the window with the height. Actually, no, I forgot to destroy the window first. Swap buffers window. Here we're going to pull the events. And here we're going to check window should close. Should close. And then we got a chibi assert. It started raining, so I opened the window because rain is cool. That's a pro tip from Big Smoke. And here, glw get proc address. Odd. Let's run main. Segmentation fault. So my library isn't the problem, which is good. But it's also bad because that means something is fucked with our simple OpenGL code that should work. Loaded correctly. Function pointers. You mean the OpenGL ones? Hold on. I mean, I am using glad loader, so that should be correct. Yeah, the thing that is crashing is GL draw elements. So that means something is fucked with our data. Loaded correctly. I mean, we could try, actually. Technically, buffer data is a function pointer. It's a global one, so what we could do is say we could print glad GL buffer data and see what happens. Oh god. It's even worse. Glad load GL. Okay, yep. It's very sus. Okay, here it's not going to work, and here it's also not going to work. But in the original example, gfx.c, make gfx. If we go to glad mode.gl and we printf the version, put it here. Okay, now I'm starting to get worried. What the hell is going on? We are asserting. What is this supposed to return? Supposed to return this. Returns an integer. Returns version. We return 0. So assert that it doesn't equal to 0. Segmentation fault. Good. I love it when my program seg faults. This is funny. Could have just. I thought sokol-gfx was going to be a little bit harder because I have to set up Sokol shader compiler and I can't be fucked to. But honestly, the more I use OpenGL, the more I mess it up. I might just go with sokol-gfx. How long have we been streaming for, by the way? Where's OBS? 40 minutes, and we haven't even got a damn triangle. 40 minutes. Does the original even work? God, okay. I haven't updated in 35 days. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. I haven't updated in forever. But who cares? Also, why does glue do all this? Why? I could have just used X macros for the OpenGL, but the problem with doing your own OpenGL loader isn't the X macro, isn't loading the functions themselves, but the constants. You know, GL color buffer bit or GL array buffer. The constants. I couldn't be fucked to do those. Make shit. I need CGLM. On second thought, this renderer sucks. Really sucks. This renderer really sucks. Let's unmask it. The most ooga booga way ever. How am I supposed to make this fun? Triangle not even worky. We got CGLM. Please compile, I beg you. Okay, this one works. We can use this one. We can use this one. The day have been saved. The day has been saved, I mean. Or actually, let me pull a funny here. Let's go here to this. Get rid of it. Completely, just get rid of this piece of shit. Get glue. And just glue init. It has to be equal to glue okay. And we're not going to give it any functions. Now, in our shit, I went to my neovin config. That's crazy. Now in here, we will need glue technically, but that should be okay. And gl. Ah, okay. Odd. Assertion. So if I don't assert anything, what's gonna happen? Segfault. So I guess loading the OpenGL function was the issue, even though at the start of the stream, I could have sworn that GL get string GL version just worked. Something is really not okay here. And it could be this. No, okay. That's not the issue. Would have been funny though. God damn. If I was popular enough, I would have some like veteran OpenGL developer who has been using it since the IrisGL days, and he would tell me how dumb of a fuck I am and give me the exact error in 0.5 seconds, and I would be like, oh my god. I just know it. What if I go back to the GLFW example? So render, go back to the GLFW one, and replace this with glue. What happens there? I'm gonna use Vulkan. Fuck this. I'm using Vulkan. I'm gonna use Vulkan. Like next stream, I'm gonna use. I will. Okay, maybe not Vulkan, but I will not use OpenGL. God, I hate everything. I beg you, please work. The power of friendship. Also, forgot to add glue here. And also include asserts because reasons. Of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. Lib. Hmm. Interesting. We create the window. We make context currents. We initialize glue. And it works here. I do make. It works. But when I do it here, it doesn't work. Oh my god, Tech. You're playing Counter-Strike 2? God damn, you're addicted to that game. Well, not really, but still. You should play real games, like The Cave Story. I stopped using assertions as they don't tell me what's wrong. That is partially true. Sometimes they're useful. Sometimes they aren't. But either way, OpenGL is still a terrible graphics API, and I am going to go ahead and do a really funny thing here, which is I'm going to pull a funny and I'm going to use sokol. Now, if I'm going to not use OpenGL, I think I'm going to go ahead. How do you change title? YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. We all say in unison. What secret sauce does my shitty renderer have? What secret sauce? GLW init. What if I just copy all this? Just make context current. I don't even check for the window creation. If I run this, it works. How do I include? I include like this. Alright, got it. Glue init, just like that. Not even error checking. But when I go to my current renderer, which is the same exact setup, by the way. Wait, same exact setup, you know. Include the same order, the same, OpenGL thing. And you know what? For completeness sake, I'm gonna make it not resizable. Same window creation function. Sets frame buffer size. Fuck it. Dude, fuck it. Wait, hold on. Let's copy it globally in our global system clipboard. You know what? I say fuck it. Where is that frame buffer? I'm gonna copy this and paste it right here for completeness sake. Window. What the hell? Visual Studio is the best tool you could use for debugging OpenGL, but it's Windows only. You're not checking if anything fails. Don't you think that is a bad practice? There's a file. True, actually. Let's go to our not working example, which is this, right? Yep, this. Let's actually assert the window. Actually, good idea. Or just assert like that. And let's assert this one. Still, actually. And I do have a debugger, but I don't trust it. Hold on. if want to do it, if want to do debugging, the first thing I'm gonna do is in our compilation, I'm gonna add debug symbols, just like that. So we got debug symbols. So now I'm gonna run the debugger. Okay, let's see. Everything is good so far. When we reach glue inits, everything eats shit and die. Why? I have no idea. Does my sokol program work still? It does. We could just use sokol. We could bite the bullet and use sokol. Debugging. You're using glue and glad together? Is that even possible? No, actually, no, I'm not using glad. Where glad? I do have the file. I tried glad, but it did not work. So I'm using glue now because if I go to my previous 2D renderer, if we take a look at this one, which uses glue, it works. And it's the same exact setup. Yeah, if I go here, you know, I literally copy pasted this and glue in it. I don't even assert for anything, and this just works. Make, by the way, I'm recompiling this, by the way. So like, yeah, glad load GL. I tried glad load GL previously, but let's try it again. Why not? Not like we're losing anything. Pretty desperate right now. Glad GL implementation. Glad GL implementation, and then here, I could do, instead of glue in it, it's going to be glad load GL, the load function, and then glfw get proc address. Yeah, it's going to be does not equal to 0. Because if we take a look at the glad load GL function, it's just this, and then this version. If get string returns 0, if it's null, we return 0. So if we return 0, that means everything's fucked. So we're just gonna assert that we're not doing 0. Yep, doesn't even work. And if we check for get proc address, it is the same exact thing. GL get proc. Yeah, void pointer. It's just void. It's the same exact as this one. Yeah. So glad load GL also does not work. Actually, no. Wait. Wait. Brother. So glad works. So if I why is the syntax highlighting broken? Anyways. Huh. So basically, don't use glue. Okay. So the point is always use fprintf, always print to std instead of the std out, because this shit compilation, I mean it's not shit, but compilation mod.nvim failed me here. It doesn't print the thing instantly. That is odd. GL use program. I smell memory corruption. Well, you're not wrong. It does sound like memory corruption because the shade I checked earlier and the shader is completely normal. And this is just memory. So you are technically correct. You got good smell. static draw, size of vertices, size of indices, they are known at compile time. If we look at the vertex thing, it is position 2, array of 2 positions for each one. So that is technically correct. We got indices for 6 indices. We are drawing 6 indices, unsigned int, and it is technically unsigned int. 6 triangles. Yeah, we're doing triangles. Array buffer, elements array buffer. Cool. Static draw, static draw. Gen vertex arrays, bind vertex array. This is correct. 0 and 2. If we go look at their vertex, yes, GL float. It's not normalized, and it is 2 float. And it is at location 0. And if we take a look at their shader, it is in location 0. Yes. If we were in Vulkan, we would be dealing with like descriptor sets now, but we're not. So size of vertex, yes, we could. I did try doing this, but same results and null because yes, the offset is at 0. We could also do this just in case. Offset of, you give it the type, you give it the argument, but it's still sec false. So try binding the VO because I actually tried doing that and it didn't work, sadly. Also, I am doing GL use program, so let's actually try that too. Yeah. I tried binding everything, by the way. Like literally everything. Everything I've got, just bind that shit. Let's see. Nope. Absolutely not. Refuse. Okay. I have a funny. Okay, that didn't work. Render doc time. No, the problem is you can't even do render doc because render doc we're supposed to capture a frame, but this is like straight up sec fault in the program, so you can't even stop at the right time. Do you try draw arrays? Very interesting. Let's try that. So GL draw arrays. GL draw arrays, and then GL triangle. I'm gonna look at the docs. I'm not even gonna risk it. Let's see. Mode first count. Triangles. Okay, we're not seeing anything, but it technically does work. Okay. 3 vertices. I'm not seeing any triangle, which is sad and depressing. But it is not crashing. If I don't bind this, same shit. Yo, you are actually streaming? Yes, sadly. I knew it. It happened to me before. Oh my god, what is it? What? No. My mouse right clicking. It happened to me before. What is it? Was your like indices buffer not working or something? Oof. The indices look fine. So the problem is we're not seeing anything. Even though we should, because guess what? This. Okay. Something like that, yeah. It's not gonna make a difference, but I'm gonna try something. Instead of having size of indices, let's just try to print the size of indices first to see if like it's even correct. Also f print f because learn my lesson. And indices. It's 24. Yeah, that is correct. Because 4 and 6, 24. Let's just do vertices instead. 32 sounds about right. Yeah, 4 by, yeah, 4, not 4 by 4. No, what? No, 8 by 4? Yeah, 8 by 4. In that case, the size is correct, the pointer is correct, and I did check that it takes in the size first, and then the data, and the uses a static draw. I'm gonna do the thing again. No, GFX. Probably. I'm gonna zoom out a bit to lock in or whatever. Push rect, I don't care. Where's the init function? There it is. Let's see. So we generate this too because, yeah, we generate the vertex. We do basically the same thing. Yeah, basically the same. Same shit here. It's funny how I'm generating 2 buffers here, and then I'm generating a buffer here. How does that even work? Wait. Huh? Yeah, it shouldn't work. 0, 2, size of GFX vertex, and the offset. And then we enable that. Exactly the same setup. And then we want to draw. We fill the vertex buffer, and here, in case here we already did, geo draw elements. Here we got 1 quad, so it's going to be 6, and yeah. Okay. Well, how long have I been streaming this useless shit for? Straight hour. Now, either I call this quits and tomorrow I actually figure out, a better fucking graphics API, or I try to speedrun this and do the same shit in Sokol. Also, we have a vendor. I am locked in right now. Vendor? Sokol. We got Sokol, right? Yep, we do. Let's just define Sokol implementation. include sokol/sokol-app.h. Actually, no, let's just copy all this, paste it, and just change it accordingly. Okay. We do si description sokol main, taking the argc, the argv, you know the drill. Also, because we're not using these arguments, I'm gonna quickly just void them out. Return as generate the ctext file. Go to definition or cans. What? There you go. We need init callback. So it's just actually no. Actually, fuck it. No, wait, no. It's gonna be a norm. Go here, 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 here. No shit, dude. Work. Thank you. Then we're gonna have the actual width and height. Although it won't matter because you can't really set the window to be not resizable in Sokol app. So we're just gonna have to deal with this. Set the logger just in case. Let's see. Can you print the value of offset of real quick? Want to see something? Never mind. I mean, I did. I mean, I kind of did. I replaced it with just raw null, and it did not work. So why is YouTube popping this up? Does it want me to freaking? God damn. This is what happens when you use JavaScript. You get this. Don't worry, box diff. I mean, I already deleted the whole thing, but actually, fuck it. Let's try that. Let's try that. Fuck it. Why not? So fprintf std this size, no, offset of the gfx vertex and then the position, right? And let's run gfx. Gonna have a problem here, and the fix to that problem is actually quite simple. We use glad load g. Actually, you know what? Nah, fuck this shit. If we look, we got the action which equals to pass action. I'm gonna go do that right now. And then the swap chain, which is gonna equal to s glue swap chain. Now the state struct, right here we have, gonna have a pass action, and then initialization gonna equal to colors equals to, can I do this? Dot load action equals to, by default equals to clear, so that's good. And the store action, the clear value already looks good, to be honest. I could just say clear value. No. I'm gonna say it explicitly anyways. Because that's what the examples do. The samples, I mean. SG setup, SG description, give it the logger, and give it the environment. What do you mean Sokol at not found? True, true. What did I do wrong here? Okay, we got a window. It works. We got the damn window. Now, finally, I can actually do the freaking thing. God. Let's get the shader. Dude, I'm going to commit Sudoku. And finally, do stuff in peace. So we can get the in position, 0 to 1. That's why I don't like running this library. But that's like the whole reason why this entire time I'm suffering over here. I want to write this render once. The last time I want this to be the last time I write this 2D batch render, so I can use it for all my games. That's the reason I use Raylib, by the way. I can't deal with this shit anymore. I'm too tired, I'm too old and depressed. I can't even. I'm typing as fast as I could, but will it be enough? I'm gonna have a single pipeline because this whole thing is a single damn shader. Now, can I compile the shaders? Shit. Can I compile the shaders? Can I compile the shaders? Oh shit, I need the end. Yeah. Not sure if I agree with this one. Do we got them shaders? We do got them shaders. So I can finally go here, include basic.buildstar.h. Then here, we make our first pipeline. SG, make pipeline. Actually, no, first, yeah, let's just start with the pipeline. Fuck it, why not? Description. Let's go here, look at the pipeline description. Give it the good old shader equal to, no, gonna be basic shader description. Shader description, wait, what does it take? It takes in a backend, so I have to do sj query backend. There we go. Gotta give it the layout. One of my favorite things in Sokol, the way you do layout is just, it's beautiful. I love it. Attributes. And then you do attribute basic in position equals to as dot formats. We have designated initializers, whatever they're called. SJ vertex format float 2. Yes, perfection. Quite literally perfect. We need the primitive type, the index type. We do need the index type. I will do an index thing. Index type, uint32. The call mode, I'm not going to mess with that. Looking good. What we need next is to make our, wait, I need my vertices, damn. Here they are. Just copy paste them. Let's see if they'll actually work. If they don't, I will say very nice words. Let's use the vertex buffer. So okay, buffer. Let's say buffer description. I'm quite literally speedrunning this right now. Now we need the usage by default. By default, if I remember correctly, the usage is a immutable vertex buffer. Correct? Default true, immutable default true. Yes, perfection. That is quite literally perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna do data, which is an SG range, kind of like a void pointer slice, I guess. And then it's gonna be SJ range vertices. And if I'm not mistaken, perfection. Same shit, except this is the index buffer. And the usage.index buffer equals to true. And then here, we can do SJ apply pipeline, state up with, and then SJ apply bindings. Let's make this a bit cleaner. We can apply the bindings, give it the memory address of our bindings. And then last but not least, SJ draw, which I have no idea how to use. Base elements, number of elements 6, and the number of instances, which is 1. Now, will this work? No, hold on. Need a vertex, guys. Hold on, just need a vertex. Hooking up a vertex real quick. UN30 Oh shit, forgot to do the make shader. Okay. This is both good and bad. Yo! I need to take a break. I just drank 2 freaking liters of water. Yeah, that's proof. Drank 2 liters of water. God damn. Sokol is the best. True. It is the best. Okay, well technically, this guy right here made a little thingy, but we don't talk about that. That's CIA secrets. Sokol just works. Actually, I have a funny idea. I have a funny, guys. Let's just turn on Vulkan. Okay, that's not gonna work because I gotta enable Vulkan. No, crap. What I need is to go here, and also this is gonna be Spurvy Vulkan or Spurvy VK. Yeah, Vulkan just works. Well, in that case, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Now I can finally do the rendering. That's in order to do the rendering. What we have to do is say vertex. Actually, no. Let's try. Let's try a usage blocks. Hold on. Gotta go back. Dynamic updates. Sure. Dynamic update is gonna be equal to true. Will that work? No. Why not? The data pointer must be null. Okay. So I'm not gonna touch this. And the size must be greater than 0. Hold on. So a range has a size. So what I can do is say size equals to max quads. You're gonna have a maximum amount of quads. Let's say 112. And then max vertices, which is going to be max quads multiplied by 4. So it's going to be max vertices multiplied by the size of our single vertex. How about that? Of course, it's not going to work because, hold on, what? We have a separate size. That's crazy. Yeah, apply bindings. It's not going to work because we're trying to draw literally 0 data here or something. So I'm just going to copy the Krabby Patty secret formula from the previous working one. Surprised it actually works. Indices. Yeah, this. Just copy paste it. Now this is dangerous because our stack might not be very happy. So we're just gonna do a little malloc, do a little funny, and free it right here. we might have a shit ton of quads to the point where the stack is just not enough. And this is a high chance, like on Windows, shit operating systems. What can you do? And then here, let's have in our state, let's have the following. We're gonna have, first of all, let's have a quad. Type def vertex quad. Because this is C, instead of putting the thing here, you gotta put it here. Because C is the most epic language in the world. Also, put these right here. So it's gonna be quads, max quads, quad count, or quad offset, whatever you want to call it. It's a fixed array. So here it's gonna be just like that. By default, for prototyping reasons, I want the quad counts to be 1. And I want the quads 0 to be a quad. I'm gonna have a bunch of vertices, right? I'm gonna put that here next to the vertices so I can actually see. I'm gonna copy all this, paste it here. Forget about this. Just completely and utterly forget about it. Also this. Forget about it. And then here, I'm gonna have to look at a function that I haven't used in a long while. Also, let me look at that. Hello. Hi. You should probably change the stream title. True? Well, how do we change it? Stream settings. Edit. Sokol-gfx. There we go. Let's take a look at the little thing. We need a buffer ID, which is our vertex buffer 0. And the data, which is our pointer is going, yeah, it consists of a pointer, right? Yeah, pointer and size. So the pointer is going to be our quads, and the size is going to be our quad count multiplied by 4, because each quad has 4 vertices, and then multiply that by the size of our vertex because it's in bytes. This should theoretically work, but it doesn't work, of course, because... Okay, yep, it's kind of a problem. What I could do, technically, is go here and change this to state quads 0, 0. Kind of horrible. I like it. Norm. And then here, change it to vertex. Incompatible, true. Corrupted top size. We got malloc, just 512 cigarettes. And we got free. Interesting. What? If I say 512, just like that. Wait. Corrupted top size. I am very confused. Debugger time, even though it's not going to help that much, but still. It's like the only malloc call we have here. Never mind. Set a breakpoint here and just continue. Go back. Yep, that is the reason. Gotta give it an SG range. Because it's not known to compile time anymore? Yeah, that's kind of dangerous. And then max squats 6. What? Are you serious right now? Does it have to be? Wait, I have a little example. Do not worry. No, not index. It's gonna be index buffer. Do we have an index buffer somewhere? Please, I beg you. Yes. Model indices, size. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit, I'm so dumb. Wait, if that's the case, then God. God damn. So okay, let's see. I did change the stream title, yes. Do you have some 1 hour of OpenGL versus? Yes, that is true. Which is also sad. Do you have somewhere your nvim dots? I can upload them if you want. Hold on. Paste bin. I don't even want to log in. No. I want to paste. Here you go. And it's going to be syntax highlighting Lua. Create no paste. Was that the correct button? Yes. Here you go. This should work. Max quads multiplied by 6 multiplied by the size of our indices. And then we do the same shit here. Right. Where's my my beautiful model index count? Yeah. Model index counts. Should I set this size too, maybe? I mean, I shouldn't because I have an idea. I'm gonna break points here. And then I'm gonna look at this buffer and see the size of it. Oh shit, it's only oh god damn it. It's only an ID. I don't get the actual thing. This is pointer. Max quads multiplied by 6 multiplied by size of indices. Then why is it complaining? How dare it complain? The quad count is 1, that is true. We are having 0 quad and 0, 1, 2, 3. Here's our vertex. And the error is VK barrier non apply bindings, VK command buffer, whatever. What do you mean? I will lose my shit. Actually, no, that's not the issue. Hold on, go back. God, okay, never mind. This is a hold that back. So it's actually one of these functions. I thought it was going to be a draw call, but this is actually Vulkan. Yeah. So breakpoint here. The bindings look like they're absolutely and utterly fucked. Even though the buffer IDs are different. Index buffer. Yeah. State dot quads. Quads are this. Each quad has 4 vertices, max vertices. And here we go. Look at max vertices. We are multiplying by size of vertex. I wish you could show me like what buffer. 0 that doesn't equal BND VBS I. If I go there and I set a breakpoint here, we look at BND. Looks interesting. Bindings PTRs, okay. So we got our buffer right here. BK, something, something. Common. We got the size. Size is correct, which is good. Love to see that. Slots. Yeah. Where do we store the type then? Current access, which is this. And if we go look at this, it's just an int access bits. We have a vertex buffer. And it equals to 0. And what is I? 0. God. Vertex buffer bind slots. Okay. This might be a bruh moment. No, that did not fix it. No. Vertex buffer 0. Dynamic update. Max vertices multiplied by the size of a vertex. It's saying that the thing is not even a vertex buffer, which is not true because it is a vertex buffer. Sokol have a VKVA. Yeah, they've had it since Sokol Vulkan. Lou. The brain dump. When was it? Yeah, they had it since like nearly a year ago, December 1st, 2025. Experimental Sokol backup. If you want to read about it, here it is. Where stream? Where chat? I lost chat. I quite literally and utterly lost chat. Restore chat and put it here. The day has been saved. True. True. Yeah, true. That is true. No transitions allowed in render classes, but check if resources are in correct state. Brother. If we go here, it's 1 bit shift 1. It's like a bunch, it's a bit mask. It's a damn bit mask. And we are checking if the thing is a current access. What the fuck is current access? This. We are checking if it's a vertex buffer. So what if, Batman, what if I pull a funny and just use OpenGL? Well, maybe it'll get. Yeah, I talk shit about OpenGL, but I love OpenGL. I might need 2 more liters of water, I'm just saying. Guys, remember when I said OpenGL is like a shit graphics API and nobody should use it? I was actually being sarcastic. OpenGL is my homie, okay? I love OpenGL. It's the best thing that's ever lived. Okay? So-called kind of goofy with Vulkan, that is true. Dude, I've always loved OpenGL. I'm just saying. Okay, so we got our thing. Now our next step is move this into, function. Static void push rect. We're gonna get we might need a vector true. I will write a math library later. Trust. We could inline this whole thing. Genius. And then we could do this. Innovation. And then the shine the vector for ZW color All right, in order to have color, we're gonna go to our shader and we're gonna have a color. There's gonna be a vector. Should I make it a vector 4? Yeah, fuck it, vector 4. Transparency, guys, trust. And then we're gonna do color equals in color. We're gonna go to our fragment shader. No, color. And here's just gonna be, color. Genius. We are going to copy paste this or cut whatever you want to call it. Here it's going to be just like that. We're going to change all this to state.quad counts. Also for reasons, I am going to do quad because each time you index into array it's pointer arithmetic and like the me and the boys don't do point. Me and the boys love the CPU and we don't want to hurt it. We think the CPU is based. Hopefully this doesn't. Rustations right now are like having an aneurysm. I'm just saying. They are freaking out. States.quad count plus 1 is less than max quads. Or actually, yeah. Do we compile? Sorta. We gotta draw something. Actually, if that's the case, then I'm gonna do this. If state.quad counts equals 0, equals 0, then just wait, no, doesn't equal 0, then we do all this. So just in case you just don't feel like drawing anything, we give the user a lot of freedom. That's true. Programming. Have to design good APIs. And then here, we do a state.quad counts equals to 0, reset every time, and then we push our beautiful, beautiful rectangle. Also convenient little thing that I can't live with that, just Raylib looking at her library. I'm just saying. I'm gonna have the color blue, actually, because I think the color blue is based. Randy reference. Thank you. Someone watches Randy. BGFX stream when? When GTA 6 comes out. When GTA 6 comes out, I'll do a BGFX stream. Still an example, actually. Funnily enough, I've heard of BGFX, and then like years ago, I looked at an example, and then I never looked at the thing ever again. So like, yeah, cubes. Yeah, they don't even care about triangles. They're cubes. Okay. What's the point of an empty namespace? Okay. So we MS layout. Okay. Oh shit! It's like the vertex layout. The Rust. C. Triangle strip. Cool. Class example cubes entry. Ah, come on, man. What are you, a corporation? Frostbite? And that you give. This is like poor man's sokol. This is like sokol before sokol. Get native window handle or you init your vertices, your layouts. You create the vertex buffer. This is actually really simple. Not gonna lie. You make a reference. You make so basically SJ range, sokol range. You give it the layout. Create index, a bunch of index buffers because yeah, line strip and points. Yeah, triangle list. You load your program, whatever that does. I'm GUI begin. Oh, so they got like built-in I'm GUI. Nice. BX, which is probably a math library of some sort, of some kind. Set view transform. What in the OpenGL 1.1 is that? In the viewport? You give it the view and the projection, they already get a camera for you. Bruh. Set transform, set vertex, set states, submits. And then you advance to the next frame. Interesting. Well, can I see this load program thing, please? Where? Load program, yeah. What does it do? It calls to another function. Thank you. Very useful. What does that function do? It loads shader. Thank you. I exactly know what this function does now. There we go. It's in sokol-gfx utils, of course. Holy shit. Yeah. Actually, I changed my mind. When GTA 7 comes out, I'm gonna use this. V4 ZW W chat. Passing vector 2. What the hell do you mean I'm passing vector 2? I'm passing vector 4. Look at me. Oh, okay. Okay. We're gonna have a vector 4 color. This took way too long. I need to make it part 2, which is extremely unfortunate. That was the here. No, wait. We're gonna have let's just get rid of all this. Okay, this is useless shit. We're being serious here. We're software developers. Actually, no, it's gonna be like this. And then here, because of the way we did our indices, it's gonna be like this. Actually, no, it's gonna be like this. And then here it's gonna be plus the size.y. Same shit here. Compiler errors. I know it. Well, sorta, kinda. Position. Interesting, very interesting. We forgot our yes. Yes. Chat, we are so fucking back. I'm hoping to just get a rectangle. I would be fine with a rectangle. Hold on, let's read chat. Beautiful. Next is probably a projection matrix. So layouts, binding. Now, sad thing, pro tip, sokol is colonel, but it has a problem. You see in here in my graphics little thing, see this little thing? Okay, let's not showcase the room. Let's just use this, right? Monkey. Let's just use monkey. I missed the golden opportunity to name this monkey, by the way. Hold on. Did I lose where? Yeah. I'm gonna replace all the monkeys with monkey. Fine, perfection. Coding. And here we're gonna have also, instead of monkey, it's gonna be a monkey. Except the obj file. I'm gonna leave that as is. Go back. Monkey. Let's go. Monkey. So this is fine and all, but like when I need to do multiple lights, right? You can't, you would do something like, oh yeah, just do like a struct light, right? Just do it like a struct light and then have like all these and put them here and just go like this, right? And like, it's amazing. Look, you just put the light struct. But the problem is that the way they did OpenGL uniforms, and yes, they're uniforms, they could have just used uniform buffers, but fuck you. Now you can't really have. You can't really do that. No, you can't really do that. Do not prove me wrong. Because if I put it here, and also I have to put the thing all the way here. I'm not even going to be embarrassed or anything if this works. I'm just going to be happy. No! I hate you! Wait, does it actually work? Like, can I actually do stuff in there? Wait. Where is my lit.glsl.h? Yep. Lights. No, lights. FS parameters. Okay, nope, my point still stands. There's no light. It just goes to the model. And if I do this, let's do this. Actually, no. Ah, look. Uniform blocks can only contain float or int base types. Ah, see? That's what I'm talking about. I was just wasn't like the compiling the shaders. That's all. So now if I put it here, it won't work. And if I like move it to the fragment shader and like get rid of this and just put it here, the same thing happens both on OpenGL and Vulkan. I mean, I actually haven't tested Vulkan, but I'm not going to trust it after what happened here. So yeah, sad thing about so-called shader compiler. Beware of this. I'll just God. I just want to do some happy Vim trick. Why are you not letting me? Finally, we're gonna have this SOA, and yeah, this is not my idea, by the way. This is a friend's idea. Params, VS parameters. We're gonna have a matrix 4 projection matrix. And you might be like, yes, matrix 4, but what will you use for that matrix? What library would you use? Graphics, SRC vendor. We're gonna get the little vector math into our vendor. Yeah, it's our library now. It's ours now. And I'm just gonna include. Okay. Sure, mites. Never mind, mites. If I go to here, are we gonna have a matrix? No. That's the thing about Sokol. You can never really memorize anything. Odd. Oh, because I'm not even using the damn thing. Yep. Now, I'm gonna go into my main. Actually, let's just move this into a separate, yeah. Now, in here, we have the library. We have the capabilities. What I can do now, witness this magic. Apply uniforms. And I completely and utterly forgot. Okay, yep. UB, VS parameters, and then data, which I do not have. And then it's going to be SG range. Our VS param struct. Now you might be like, where is this? It is here. Witness. I cannot spell for shit. Matrix for 4, projection matrix. The projection matrix, our beautiful, beautiful projection matrix, and I completely forgot how to use backmath. Ortho. Help. Yes, orthographic. So it just returns. Good. Ortho. Left hand or right hand? I'm gonna try my luck. Width, S app, width, F, heights. No. Wait, huh? Oh, you don't even have to. Sure. I'm used to specifying the top and the bottom and the left and the something like that. I forgot. This is gonna be 0.1 and actually no, this is gonna be like -1 and it's gonna be 1 because of z-axis and all that. It's gonna give it the projection. We're not gonna see anything. Good. That is actually good. Now, where's my push rect function? Yeah, I'm gonna make the size like 100. Look at that. We got the thing. So, okay. Because of the way as so-called app works, I don't want to do input. Although that would be sick, but I'm not gonna do input. Fuck that shit. What's next? Next is LARP wait, LARP spliff. Oh, talk to a spliff. True? That is true. Is Tokyo Spliff still uploading, by the way? That would be sick. I love Tokyo Spliff. He's based. Two months ago. Live streams? 13 days ago. Dude's alive. Let's go. Here is going to be... And this one is going to be minus. This one is going to be... D. That is epic. Now, to do your mom. Make sprite atlas using stb rectspec to do also your mom. Make font rendering using stb TrueType. I mean, I'm not a baby. I know what library to use. Shut up. And to do your mom 3x gfx.h for the love of God and my suffering. There we go. How long have we been streaming for? Nearly 2 hours. So what have we learned today? We learned that wait, I gotta go here to my description. Lessons learned today. Don't crap. I pressed Control W by mistake. Well, I'm just gonna do this. Lessons learned today. Don't use OpenGL. I press Control W because I'm used to Vim. But that actually closes the damn tab. So yeah. Don't use OpenGL. Don't use sokol-gfx with Vulkan. And don't do any of this. Tomorrow or after 6 years, I'm gonna meet you. See ya. Bye bye. I'm tired. Fuck you.